Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Football and welcome to the Match Week 2 Champions League Fantasy Tip Show. We are back again, me and Josh once again. We did one for Match Day 1, not one really, but like 5 or 6 different videos. And Josh is back with me again, man. How have you been the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's been good. My Premier League fantasy is doing a lot better than the Champions League one, but yeah, it's all good fun, and I'm looking forward to some more Champions League action.
I mean, to be fair, the Champions League one is only 1 week in, and the Premier League one is 5 weeks in, so a big difference there. So, in today's stream, if you're watching the full fantasy tip show, in today's stream, you're going to be talking about our Match Week 1, our reviews for Match Week 1. We're also going to be talking about Match Week 2, obviously the captaincy choices, players to target, and all that. So, make sure to smash the like button and to subscribe if you're new. So, first up, I'll start with my team as Josh prepares his, and we'll go to my Match Week 1 team. So is it Match Week 1 or Match Day 1? I usually confuse it. I think it's Match Day. I think it's no Match Week, but I usually say both of them. But yeah, let's go to my Match Day 1 review. So you can see that, right? So in terms of a Match Day 1, I made one of 2 mistakes. There's 2 mistakes you can make in a Champions League fantasy or a Euro fantasy. One is to let's say, change your captain to another captain when your captain scored, let's say, 9 points and you expect your other captain to score more than that. That's usually a mistake. You just might as well leave it to the guy who scored 9 points. And the second mistake is to target the early fixture. We all waited for Italy back in the Euros, the early fixture. Let's see which players are starting, Chiesa and this one. So let's bring the 3 players that are starting. And I made that exact mistake with the United players. And as you can see, I brought in Van der Beek. I saw him in the starting lineup. I was tempted. I was like, maybe it's a good differential. Let's bring him in. He did not work out. He got subbed off at halftime, so that's why he was on my bench. But for the rest of my team, Vlacho, the goalkeeper, not many people owned him, so I was really happy with that. The Benfica goalkeeper, they did concede in the 90th minute, but it was checked by VAR and it was basically disallowed, so I was really happy with that. 7 points from him. My back 5, Wan-Bissaka. Josh is a Manchester United fan, so Wan-Bissaka did not do me justice at all. I thought he was a cheaper avenue to United defense, but he got a -3 there. And you can't sub off a guy who's gotten a red card, by the way. The moment someone has picked up a red card, you cannot sub them off the next day. It's basically closed. Hakimi got 3 points, expected more against Club Brugge and another downer. Kimmich got a clean sheet against Barcelona. Let's be honest, they made Barcelona look like a League 2 team or something like that. Also picked up a yellow card, disappointed with that. So he picked up a couple of yellow cards last season as well. So obviously for the position he plays, very, very capable of doing that. Reece James expected the double Chelsea clean sheet. Obviously, if I was going to get, I was really tempted to get a Chelsea defender instead of Wan-Bissaka, expected a clean sheet. And James got 6 points. Diego Carlos, we told you guys in Match Day 1, Diego Carlos, the Sevilla defender, gets a lot of points from tackles and recoveries. So all these 4 points came from recoveries because he picked up a yellow card. That game was crazy. No, I'm not sure whether Josh saw it. There was like how many penalties in that game? Like 4
was it like
something.
3 or 4 or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, in the first half. And he's one of those guys who gave away a penalty. And you give away a penalty, it's -1. So he got a yellow card for that and got another -point for giving away the penalty. So these 4 points all came from recoveries. So it's a good option in terms of recoveries. Gundogan in the middle, 4 points. He was originally on my bench. Mount was the one who was playing, but Mount surprisingly blanked against Zenit. So Gundogan came in, 4 points, 4 points, same thing. I would have gotten the same thing anyway. Llorente, again, disappointment against Porto. Atletico didn't look that great against Porto, 3 points. And then up front, Lukaku was my captain in the first day, and he returned, I guess, not as much as I wanted. But you also get 3 points for being the player of the match. So 18 points in total. Ronaldo with 6, obviously expected him to score against Young Boys. And Haaland with 7 against Besiktas away from home. So a total of 60 points for Match Day 1. I think I'll definitely take that. I'm not sure whether Josh bettered that, so let's bring his team up.
No, I didn't. I think I scored, what did I score? 59. So It weren't great, to be honest. The United game sort of set the theme for the week for me. Obviously, no one expected Wan-Bissaka to get sent off. It totally changed the game. I feel like that Van der Beek pick could have been a good pick if we had 11 men on the pitch. So you're rather unlucky with that one. So yeah, for me, I had Mendy in goal. Again, wanted to target that Chelsea defence. Has been unbelievable since Tuchel came in. So 6 points there. As you mentioned, Diego Carlos in a crazy game. Still managed to come out with 4 points. Is just the exact reason why you own him. In another day, if he keeps a clean sheet, you're looking at like nearly a 10-pointer, which is massive. Kimmich, 5 points. Trent, 5 points. Yeah, it's interesting with him. You expect a lot more like attack and returns. He obviously got that 1 assist, but then they conceded those 2 sloppy goals from Liverpool's point of view. So it's interesting. I expect to keep him longer, but we'll have to wait and see because there's going to be a lot of transfers going into the next week. Llorente, as you mentioned, I think Atletico Madrid in the league as well, they've just been a bit slow. And he's obviously been a part of that. 3 points there. Alvarez, 2 points. Torres, 2 points. Disappointing. My midfield picks were just terrible. I look back at some of my older drafts. I had Jude Bellingham in there. I was just like, what have I done? Absolute cruelty, that is. Pedri, 3 points. Again, weren't expecting much against Bayern Munich. As you said, Bayern Munich dominated and bossed that game. But I think going forward, he could create some stuff and maybe get a few more points. Ronaldo with the obligatory goal. Things you love to see. Shame about the result. But yeah, great performance from him. From when he had 11 men on the pitch, he just became super isolated after that and never really had a chance. Lukaku with a 9. He was the obvious captaincy pick. In hindsight, I didn't actually know you get more points for the player of the match until after the game week, which is always good. So yeah, that 1-0 win was always going to give him that. And then Haaland was the captain that I switched from Ronaldo after the game week or the first day of the games. Again, I was quite disappointed with Haaland only getting the 1 goal in that game, especially against Besiktas, who, yeah, it was quite hard away from home, but I thought they would have done a lot better than what they did. So yeah, as I said, 59 points overall. Not the worst start, but definitely a lot of transfers that need to be made.
Yeah, I'd say Trent, obviously, the moment he got that goal, that obviously was changed to an own goal later on, I was like, oh no, I didn't have him in my team. I don't have him in FPL. In FPL with Trent, I've only ever owned him for 5 weeks. Ever. Since he started playing FPL, I've never owned him for more than that. And in the Champions League as well, I've never owned him. So he's a guy that you should really look at because his attacking threat is so good. Probably a mistake changing the captaincy from Lukaku to Haaland, but
it was Ronaldo.
It was Ronaldo. So
yeah,
okay, Ronaldo 6 points. I think it worked for you, though. You gained a point. Yeah, you gained a point. So I watched the Besiktas game because it was an early kickoff, and Bellingham was great. It's never easy to go to Besiktas in those kind of teams. So I think it's a good return overall. So that's how our teams look for match day 1. So next up, we are going to be discussing the match day 2 coming up next. So if you're watching the Fantasy Tip Show again, just make sure to smash the like button, and I'll link one video in the YouTube card right now for you guys to watch. So the next topic is players to target for match day 2. I'll go fast in this one. I did a whole video, so that video will be linked to the YouTube card right now. And I gave you 7 players that you should be targeting for game week 2. So the first one, I don't know if Josh had this one in mind. I'll need 2 from you. I have to steal him, and that is Robert Lewandowski. What a player. I mean, he made Barcelona look very average in game week 1. And next up, he has DYNAMO KIEV at home. They just won an hour ago. At the time of recording this, an hour ago, they just won 3-1. And last week, I think they scored like 7 or 8 goals in their league as well. And Lewandowski is always in the score sheet. And against DYNAMO KIEV at home, I definitely expect him to bag a couple. So that is a player you should be targeting. And the second one I have to talk about is Gosens. Gosens of Atalanta. This guy scores a lot of goals. We saw him in the Euros for Germany, the kind of attacking threat he was. And I came across this stat the other day. I'll bring it up for you guys watching and for Josh as well. In the last 2 years, Gosens, in terms of defenders, he has the most goals all over, like more than Hakimi, more than Sergio Ramos, more than Guerrero of Dortmund, more than Hakimi, more than Theo Hernandez, and also Alex Telles is the last one there. I've never seen him scoring for United. I think all of those goals came for FC Porto. So the last 2 years, he has scored 22 goals. That is a lot for a defender. So Next up, he has Young Boys, so I think you should definitely be targeting him. So those are my 2 picks, Lewandowski and Gosens of Atalanta. How about you?
Yeah, I love those picks. I think Lewandowski went under the radar a bit with Haaland, Lukaku, Ronaldo. So you can only fit so many. And I had Myler, sadly, over Gosens. So I didn't really check team news and stuff like that. So I've paid a massive price in that regard. Yeah. For me, I'd go Kimmich. I think Bayern Munich are the team to target for match day 2. They've got obviously DYNAMO KIEV, not a great team. I think he could maybe even get some attacking threat as well as a clean sheet. He's one of my favourite players to watch just in general. I think he's such a class player. He just oozes class on the pitch. So he would be my first pick from that Bayern Munich team. The second pick, I'd go Jude Bellingham. He's had a great match week 1. And I think he's only going to get better. He just looks class. I think he was playing championship football a couple of years ago. And now he's bossing the Champions League. It's awesome. So, yeah, I think as a differential to Haaland, say if you wanted to get Lewandowski in and you had to drop one of those strikers, he's definitely someone who could potentially match Haaland's output, as we've seen in match week 1.
Absolutely. Speaking of Kimmich, he scored. As we are recording this, he scored in the last game for Bayern Munich. He actually scored. They won 3-1 against Foot, so it's always a good option. And about Bellingham, I remember, I think it was 2 years, it was trending when he was bought by Dortmund and they had retired his number, I think for Birmingham or something. And I was like, 17-year-old? But yeah, he's a really, really good player. I can see why. So those are the options, the players to target for match week 2 or for match day 2, however you want to say it. Next up, let's go into the fixtures for match day 2. So they'll be scrolling down the bottom. As you can see, Shakhtar against Inter Milan, Ajax against Besiktas, PSG against City, a really good game. Leipzig hosting Club Brugge, Atletico Madrid traveling to Italy to face AC Milan, FC Porto hosting Klopp and Liverpool, Real Madrid against newcomer Sheriff, who picked up their first win in match day 1, Dortmund against Sporting, Atalanta against Young Boys, Zenit against Malmo, both teams losing last time out, Salzburg against Lille, Wolfsburg against Sevilla, Man United against Villarreal, a repeat of the Europa League final from last season. A very, very wounded Barcelona, not looking good at all, traveling to Benfica. A big one between Juventus and Chelsea, Morata facing his old team, and Bayern Munich against DYNAMO KIEV. So those are the fixtures. So Josh, which fixture as a fan are you looking forward to the most, and which fixture are you targeting in terms of FPL points?
Yeah, there's some definite good ones. I think PSG, Man City, the battle of the oil money, that's going to be a great one to see. So much talent on the pitch. PSG not really getting off to a great start yet. I guess it's going to be really hard for 3 massive egos like that to gel up front, but they've got to find a way. So as a fan, that's obviously everyone's going to be glued to that game. It's going to be a fantastic watch with so many superstars on the pitch.
Okay, so those are the fixtures he's looking forward to. For me, as a fan, definitely looking forward to Juventus against Chelsea. Chelsea are looking really good. Clean sheet. They've only conceded from a penalty the whole season. Against Juventus, Juventus haven't been really good, but last time out, they picked up a very comfortable win in the Champions League and also picked up a draw against AC Milan recently. So it's going to be an interesting game. In terms of FPL points, or fantasy points, not FPL, you get what I mean, fantasy points. It has to be the game between Real Madrid and Sheriff, and you'll see with my team selection for the match week. So in goal, I have Destinoglu. Destinoglu is in goal. If it doesn't work out in the first game, obviously I'll bring in Vlacho in the next day. Second up, Kimmich is still in my team, obviously. Hakimi and Militao came on for Wan-Bissaka as the defense. Gundogan is another one that I really don't like against PSG, obviously, another one that I would love to take out. Llorente against AC Milan, yet again, another one I would really love to take out this match day. Camavinga and Alvarez of Besiktas in my midfield, and then up front, Haaland as the captain for the first day. Juventus, Lukaku facing Juventus is in my team as well, and Ronaldo. So those are the 2 changes from my team. Reece James is on my bench just in case any of those players in my team score negatively, and also Diego Carlos, who's facing Wolfsburg, could be a clean sheet, but Mason Mount is rolled out. So do you really like that team, Josh, or are you seeing why I'd want to play a limitless chip?
No, I think it's solid for sure. Obviously, the limitless would always be better, but you could obviously see the benefit next week playing it. I really like the Real Madrid picks. I think they've picked up quite decent form to start the season. Camavinga especially, I've seen him grab a goal, grab a couple of assists as well so far this season. So it looks like he's hit the ground running there. I'll be touching on Real Madrid as well when I come to my team. So overall looks decent.
Awesome. So that is my match day 2 team. Next up, let's bring Josh's team.
Yeah, so for me, I haven't made any changes just yet. I'll wait for the weekend's fixtures to go, just in case of injuries and stuff like that. My main targets, though, are going to be Real Madrid, and specifically Vinicius Jr. or Benzema. I think both of them against Sheriff, as you mentioned, although they got the win in their first game, really good fairy tale story that. I think they're the one to target. Vinicius and Benzema have combined for a load of goals this season already. So those two are interesting me a lot. Players that I'll be taking out would be Bernardeschi, didn't feature in match week 1 in the Champions League. We said, I think on the preview show to game week 1, that it was a risk, and obviously that risk didn't pay off, unfortunately. So he'll be coming out. Same with Myler, he didn't play as well. I'm not sure why. I'll have to dive deeper into it, but with that stat you brought up with Gossens, it seems like it's a straight swap there. A really nice fixture for Atalanta against young boys who I don't expect to cause them too many problems unless they do get a red card like Man United did. So yeah, a couple of transfers for me. I doubt I'll play Limitless. I'm quite happy with the team that I've got, and there's some good fixtures in there.
Let's talk about the match day 2 captain picks. If you're watching the fantasy tip show, well and good, but if you're watching the captain's video, I'll link up in the YouTube card right now. Our team selection for match day 2 already did a video with Josh before, so check that out. So match day 2 captains, Josh, who are you looking at? Personally, in your team, which 2 captains are you looking at? And a player that you currently don't own that you would love to captain?
Yeah, so for me personally, it's going to be Haaland against Sporting. Obviously, they conceded a lot of goals to Ajax in match week 1, so he's going to be my main man. I'll be shocked if he doesn't get the good captaincy return that I'll be looking for in match week 2. Other than that, the ones that I don't own, I'd be looking towards Lewandowski and maybe even Andre Silva of Leipzig. I think their fixture is quite nice as well. Benzema as well, I mentioned earlier with the Real Madrid boys. So yeah, some good options as well. I think there's loads of opportunity for potentially going differential than Haaland for sure.
Absolutely. It's funny that you're actually targeting the same fixtures I was. That is why I'm tempted to play a limitless cheap Ajax fixture, also looking at Dortmund's fixture, also looking at Leipzig's fixture. So many good fixtures. So I agree with the picks that you've gone for. But for me, first up, I'm going to go for Haller of Ajax. Scored the 4 goals in match day 1 away from home. Second match day is at home against Besiktas, a team that lost at home to Dortmund. So this could be a really, really good pick for as a differential. Not sure many people own him, but if you want like a guy who will definitely score for you and stuff, it has to be Cristiano Ronaldo at home to Villarreal. Last season, I'm pretty sure if he was at United last season, he'd have won the Europa League. That's how good he is. So Ronaldo is a good option as well. So my picks for this week are Cristiano Ronaldo, who is in my team. Haller is not in my team. So the second player I'm going to pick who is currently in my team has to be Haaland, just like Josh. I mean, this guy scores a lot of goals. He scores a lot of goals. And at home, a home fixture, I'm expecting him to score like 3 goals. So Haaland is the second pick. So I think Haaland would be the best captain for this week. So those are the match day 2 captain picks. Make sure to check out our other videos. You can watch the full fantasy tip show. I'll link it up in the card right now. And thank you for watching. Keep staying safe, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one. But if you're still watching the fantasy tip show, you see how we just flip that. Make sure to follow Josh, as always helpful in this show. Where can they follow you?
It's just at FPL Graduates on TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. It's me and Ben. You've probably seen his face around here somewhere. So yeah, make sure you drop us a follow.
Probably his annoying face. I wish you had did that. His annoying face there somewhere. You know the team he supports as usual. And yeah, that is a match day 2 preview. I'll be back with the deadline stream. As always, make sure to go and check out FPL Graduates. The link will be in the title and in the description. So thank you for watching. Keep staying safe, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.